Welcome back. The Navy is trying to cut maintenance delays on its ships, but the Government Accountability Office has found a few potential causes of delays the Navy might not have thought of. Diana Maurer is Director of Defense Capabilities and Management Issues at GAO. Diana, welcome. It's good to see you again. I look at your work and it strikes me that we're talking about issues that we've been talking about in the Navy for a long, long time. What exactly is the issue as the Navy thinks about moving from a fleet in the upper 200s as it has today to potentially 500 plus ships in the coming decades? What's the Navy up against now regarding the maintenance of its fleet?
Well, first off, Francis, thank you very much. It's great to be back on the show. And you're absolutely right. Here at the GAO, we've been issuing a series of reports on challenges and problems with the Navy maintenance issue. And we have found systemic problems across the board. Roughly speaking, the Navy has been late in completing its maintenance about 3/4 of the time. That's been happening whether it's maintenance performed here in the U.S. or maintenance overseas, whether it's done at the public shipyards or the private shipyards. The Navy is facing some significant problems. The good news is they're starting to take some action and increase leadership attention to address them, but they still have a long way to go.
It strikes me that some of the potential problem here on the front end, that 3/4 number that you just mentioned, is because of what the Navy does or doesn't do on the back end. For example, you cite acquisition of these ships, and we've talked about requirements on an ongoing basis on this program and with you in particular. Ineffective requirements for ship reliability and maintainability. You cite ineffective acquisition oversight of issues impacting sustainment. This is stuff that's happening at the root of the fleet construction, and not all at the end. Correct?
That's correct. I mean, it's a systemic problem as well. It's been going on for years. That the Navy has been building ships that have maintenance problems baked into them from the time they're actually delivered to the Navy, and that does create delays. It incurs additional cost. You know, we issued a report recently that found that the Navy is facing, well over $100 billion of planned or potential maintenance costs in future years because of maintenance problems that could have been and should have been addressed when the ships were being built in the first place.
When you were on the program the last time talking about that work, my takeaway after I watched it on the air that night was this is an issue that the Navy knows about, that the Navy has not been able to fix. There's no doubt in my mind they're trying to fix it. You alluded to the fact that they're making some progress. What has gained them the progress that they've made, and is that progress that can be scaled, Diana?
So, right, they have made some progress. For example, one of the main factors that we identified in some of our prior work was insufficient number of workforce. So they've hired several thousand more people to do the work. So that has certainly helped. They have a plan in place to modernize its shipyards and expand the capacity. So there are more dry docks, so they'll have fewer delays down the road. That helps. They're also taking a hard look at how they actually do the maintenance of the ships and how they plan for that. And that is starting to show some early promising developments. But the challenge is, of course, it's taking them years to get to the point where they are today. It's going to take them years of sustained effort and sustained focus to get them out of the situation that they're currently facing.
The benefit, I suppose, that the Navy has is they have your recommendations as they attempt to scale the fleet and add these proposed 200 and some ships in the coming decades. You cite in this work you've made 39 recommendations in the past, unclassified recommendations. The Navy agrees with 37, at least partially. They've only implemented 6 as of September of this year. What does that say in your mind about their ability? Is this just really hard, Diana?
Francis, yes, it is really hard. There are no easy fixes here. We're talking about a very vast industrial complex that actually performs this maintenance. So adding workers, modernizing that equipment and those facilities is not something that's going to happen right away. Addressing some of the problems on the front end that are baked into the acquisition process, those aren't changes that are going to happen overnight. We also identified some problems with simply not doing the required maintenance when ships are at sea. And that's something that's going to take some time to address because the Navy, frankly, doesn't have enough crew aboard those ships. So none of these things are going to be resolved overnight, and it's something that's going to have to, the Navy will have to continue to focus on down the road, regardless of whether or not it continues to have a 290 ship Navy, a 355 ship Navy, or 500 ships, which is part of the conversation right now.
When the Navy's about to get underway with the frigate program, time is of the essence, I suppose, to implement these recommendations in the case of new programs like that. Is that fair to say, Diana?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we think that there should be attention placed on sustainment and support from day one. You know, when they're first thinking about developing and building a system, when they're in the process of building it, and then during the life cycle. You know, there tends to be more focus placed on building the shiny new thing and not enough attention on supporting it and maintaining it after it's been delivered to the fleet. And that's actually when it's most important. You know, Francis, if the Navy was able to perform all of its maintenance on time, they would have the equivalent of 15 additional ships available every year. And that's an important addition that enhances our national security, and it's certainly something that the Navy is trying to do. But it's going to take them some time to get there.
Diana Maurer, thank you very much. It's great to have you back on the program.
Thank you.